I'm often asked, only by liberals, Larry, when was the last time you were called a nigger? To which I always say, by a white person or by a black person. I don't know anybody my vintage who hasn't been called a nigger by a white person at some point. All right, I can remember when I was a law student in Ann Arbor. First day in Ann Arbor, University of Michigan. Walking down State Street, beautiful sunny day, and this attractive blonde was coming towards me in a yellow sundress, had a big smile, and she said, "Hi, nigger." And I almost said hi back because her smile was that broad. And I turned around and I said to myself, did that lady just call me nigger? So I went into the bookstore. A few minutes later, guess who walked in? That same lady. And she was cursing at the white lady who was checking her out, calling her a bitch and a hoe and all sorts of things. The woman was crazy. They called security and they took her away. This next story took place when I was in the Cub Scouts. This was summer camp. For a week, I was at summer camp in a place in California called Yucaipa. Bucolic, just gorgeous. I had never been in woods like that before. I'm from the inner city. So there were hundreds of Cub Scouts from all over this area of California, but just a few black ones from what I can tell. I was in the cabin with about half a dozen guys. I'm the only black guy. And after a couple of days, we all bonded. Everybody liked each other, except for one kid. He didn't like me. And he called me a nigger. And I literally had to restrain these other kids from killing this guy. They were going to kill him. They were angry that I was. This happened when I was practicing law in a place called Euclid, Ohio, right outside Cleveland. I had just done a deposition, and I'm outside of the doctor's office talking with my opposing counsel, who's white. A car rolls by kind of slowly. Might have been 3 or 4 white guys in there. And one of them said, "Hey, you're in Euclid. It's almost sundown. Get out of town." And the guy I was talking to turned ghost white. He was already white. He turned ghost white. He went, did you just hear? I said, "Yeah, I heard it." I said, "A bunch of punks." I said, "I'm working for a major law firm. I'm making a boatload of money. They got a raggedy car. And they were cowards. They didn't even stop. It's not going to ruin my day. It shouldn't ruin yours." He went, "Okay." All right, one time I was jogging in Cleveland with a white female friend of mine, and someone yelled out, "F her, I did." Another time, someone made a similar comment like that. But I really can't remember the last time I was called a by a white person. Now ask me the last time I was called a by a black person.
We're tired of the stupid, idiotic stories about you and your dad. I bet all of them are false. Not one is the truth. I'm sure that you were treated by your, if you had legitimate parents, like a piece of shit. You know why? Because niggers hate other niggers. That's why they don't have a complete family like the rest of us. So, everything you say, of course, is a lie. We're tired of those stupid stories. Oh my gosh. The only reason I listen to that idiotic station, which is the wrong answer, it's not the answer, it's the wrong answer. The only reason I listen is so I can monitor and laugh out loud at you. Everything you people say is a lie. And especially you nigger. You want people to think that you're normal with a normal family. But you know what? You never had a normal family. You were abandoned because niggers hate each other. Remember that. Niggers hate each other and they throw the kids out. They hate them. Have a great day.
Sweet. Here's another.
Hey, Larry, I was wondering if you guys are ever going to get an actual caller to call in and debate something on your show rather than having paid people call in and talk about gloss over issues and not talk about things in depth. I'm just curious because it's obvious that's what you guys are doing. I mean, you can hear it in the people's voices. You can hear it in the questions that are being asked. You can hear it in your responses. And also, I was wondering if I'm sure you make a considerable amount of money. Maybe they can fix your list or something. I mean, it's hard to even listen to you on the radio with the Donald Duck list going on and that Daffy Duck thing going on. You got to fix that, man. You sound really incoherent sometimes. You sound ignorant as well. I don't think you belong on the radio. I think your staff sergeant father is probably rolling over in his grave. hearing what you're spewing out there. You mouthpiece. You are the biggest mouthpiece of conservative white Americans that there is. You suck. And I say that to your face, too. Feel free to call me back. You got my number.
And then George from North Hollywood is called, and I want to talk to George. George, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it. You're on.
Yes, hi, Mr. Elder. I just had a question is that what problem do you have being born black? And I say that because it seems like listening to your show for I don't know how many years, you seem to justify all the wrong things that white America has done to blacks.
George, I hate to...
Every day, and it seems like people like you, Sean Hannity, you spend 3 hours a day, every day, criticizing Obama, and my reason is only because he's black. And that's surprising.
Well, George, is Sean Hannity born black?
Of course not.
Well, you said you and Sean, so Sean's criticizing him and I'm criticizing him. You started out by saying, what do you have against being born black? I'm trying to figure out why that's your criticism when Sean has not been born black, but he feels the same way about Obama as I feel. Can you explain that, George?
Well, Sean Hannity's automatic because to me, he's a racist anyway.
I see. So Sean is criticizing Obama. So Sean is criticizing Obama because he's a racist. I'm criticizing Obama because I'm a self-loathing black man.
Yes, I would say that. And there are black racists also.
I see. George, that's very...
There must be some reason you're so critical of President Obama.
And George, tell me how you feel I've been unfairly critical of Obama. I assume you feel the criticism is unfair, otherwise you wouldn't be calling. How have I been unfair?
And a lot of reasons.
Yeah, no, just give me one reason, George. We only have time for one. Just give me one. It shouldn't be too hard for you since you listen every day. You say you listen every day. It shouldn't be hard. Give me one.
We just listened to the entire concept you played of Romney at the Catholic dinner.
Right.
We heard nothing about Obama.
And so I'm supposed to play.
Everything's Romney.
George, I hate myself because I'm black. I hate myself as a black person because I didn't play 8 minutes of Obama. Isn't that a little lame, George?
You didn't play it, sir.
So therefore, I hate myself.
You didn't play it.
Have you played it?
I've noticed when people
have you played Obama's speech?
I listened to it. I listened to it
too.
I listened
to it as well.
But I'm not as critical as that.
So George, you're mad at me because I played 10 minutes. You're mad at me because I played 10 minutes of Romney telling a joke. I didn't play Obama's, and therefore I hate myself because I'm black. George, really?
No, I'm upset about the fact is that people like you,
people like me,
the whole crew, is so critical of Obama, but yet when people call in, you label them as you say liberals. They're always wrong. They start to stress certain points. You guys hang up on them. You cut them off, which is your power and your right. So why have them call in?
Have I cut you off, George? Have I hung up on you?
Not yet.
No.
I'm shocked.
Well, George, you shouldn't be shocked. You called up. You have a point of view. I'm more than happy to take on people who dissent, as I've done with you. I've not yet quite heard why you feel I've been unfair to Obama, other than I haven't played Obama's 8-minute speech at the Al Smith dinner. But you said you listen to me every day. That's all you've got?
No. For example, and this has been so talked about, Obama inherited a bad situation. Everybody says, oh, here we go with Bush again, here we go with Bush again. But the point is, and the fact is, he did.
Did I ever say that he didn't, George? Excuse me, George. You say you listen to me every day. Did I ever say that he didn't inherit a bad situation? Ever? Ever?
I never heard you say.
Okay, George. Obama inherited a bad situation. Are you happier?
I've heard you said he made it worse.
He did.
Tripling the debt.
He did.
And then again, I've also heard that.
Well, George, here's what I'm trying to figure out. Are you saying because I'm a black person, I ought not be criticizing Obama because he's black? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not saying that.
Well, what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that it seems like for the first time in the history of this country, before Obama, what everybody's been saying, that only a white guy could be qualified to be president.
I'm sorry, everybody hasn't been saying that, George. I've never said that.
A black man gets to be elected president, and some of the most astute minds in the country, congressmen, senators, scholars, you name it, famous writers, it's been their goal from day one. Don't let this man have a second term. Why? The way I think, I'm not the only one. Millions think the same way, sir. Only because he's black. George,
I know that millions. I know that millions of people think the way you think, George, and millions of people are as wrong-headed as you are. Let me ask you a question. When may I finish my question, please, and you can respond? When President Obama ran for U.S. Senate in Illinois, he ran against Alan Keyes. He's a black man. For whom would you have voted in that election?
Obama.
Why?
I like his policy.
Okay, then. I don't like his policies, George. Why do you have a right to vote for Obama even though you're black and he's black because you like his policies? I don't have a right to vote against Obama because he's black and I'm black and I don't like his policies. Explain that to me, George.
Because like most black Americans, believe it or not, are minorities, and they have the opportunity to vote for a black man before.
You had an opportunity, if you had been in Illinois, to have voted for a black man as a Republican or a black man as a Democrat. Why did you choose a Democrat? You answer, because you preferred his policies. I prefer the Republicans' policies over the Democratic policies, George. Why does that make me a self-loathing black guy? How can you want a self-loathing black guy if you had hypothetically been in Illinois and you voted against Alan Keyes in favor of Obama? They were both black. You voted against a black guy.
Well, I just say it's American. That's my choice. That's my opinion.
Well, for crying out loud, George, for every day I come on this show and I give my opinion as an American, yet you call me up and you call me a self-loathing black man. You ought to apologize, George. You ought to apologize.
I hear this.
You ought to apologize, George. You should apologize. Larry Elder, I apologize to you for calling you a self-loathing black man. Come on, George, give it to me. Give it to me.
All right.
I'm sorry?
I apologize.
Thank you. George said he apologized. Love it. Love it. Love it. But all is not despair. Every now and then, I get somebody to concede that maybe, just maybe, I was a little unfair to you because you are a black conservative. How you doing, Lisa?
Hi, Larry. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I need to find out something, Larry. I keep hearing you say MSNBC hee-haw.
MSNB hee-haw.
I need to see
Thank you. It worked. You laughed.
I'm always laughing. Everything you say, not everything, Larry, but most of the things you say are very humorous. But
I got a feeling you mean that in a sarcastic way, young lady.
No, I do not,
Okay.
Larry. I have a lot of respect for you. Even though George had some good points from you, Larry. I happen to be an African-American female. I'm a nurse.
May I interrupt one second? You said George had some good points. What good point did he make? What one good point did he make?
Okay, the point that he made about he compared you a little bit with what is the guy on Fox?
Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity.
Right.
You guys do have some similarities.
Oh, Lisa, there's no question that we have similarities. We agree about almost everything. My point was he came on and called me a self-loathing black guy and said you're like Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity is white.
And I'm glad he apologized because he was wrong in that sense. But I think you go a lot on party, and you shouldn't do that. You should not do that, Larry. You only go on party.
Okay, Lisa, for whom did Larry Elder vote in 2000?
You did not vote for Barack Obama.
In 2000, Barack Obama ran in 2008.
Okay, who did you vote for in 2000?
Lisa, you're the one who told me I vote the party. You should know. You're the one who tells Larry Elder votes party, so you ought to know. I've been on the air 20 years. I've talked many times about who I voted for in 2000. For whom did I vote?
Well, I just started listening to you, so you got to tell me.
Well, Lisa, when you come into the movie late and then you start talking about what happened earlier on in the movie, that's a little cheeky, isn't it? I mean, seriously.
It's true. Okay.
Okay, I voted for the Libertarian candidate in 2000 because George W. Bush promised to expand government, promised to do the prescription benefit bill for seniors, promised to be the education president, all of which I rejected and wrote a column about why I was, quote, throwing away my vote.
Okay, I apologize on that. I'll go back. I'll apologize on that issue. But do you agree with everything that Mitt Romney says?
Of course not.
All his policies.
Of course not. I don't agree with Romney care. I don't agree with that silly, condescending way that he dealt with that woman asking him the 72% question. I disagree with him on even how he wants to preserve Medicare. I would sunset Medicare. I'd give it 20 or 30 years and get rid of it. I would get rid of Medicaid. I'd get rid of. I would privatize Social Security. He doesn't go nearly as far as I want him to go.
Okay, then, as George, I apologize, and I'll go back and I'll retract that statement. And back to my original purpose for the call. Do you have an acronym for Fox News? Because
I do.
What is it?
Fair and Balanced.
You are so wrong. You need to apologize. You know that is not true. You need to apologize to me for that.
All right. All right. Let me do it bilingual. Lo siento. Thanks, Lisa. Bye-bye. It ain't easy being green. And by the way, nobody is dismissing racism in America. We know it exists. It always will exist. If nirvana is the goal, then you're always going to be unhappy. The question is whether or not racism can play a major role in your life today in 2020? And the answer is no, it cannot, not unless you let it. Now, a lot of people will say things to people just to make them angry. Doesn't matter what race they are. They're going to say something demeaning to make them angry.
Johnny Fontaine will never get that movie. I don't care how many Dago, Guinea, what greaseball goombas come out of the woodwork.
I'm German-Irish.
Well, let me tell you something, my Kraut Mick friend. I'm gonna make so much trouble for you, you won't know what hit you.
Hey, whatever slur it takes, right? I'm Larry Elder, and we've got a country to save. I'll see you next time.